Give me a minute, guys. Let me know if the sound is okay and the video is all right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Richard. They had some guy come in here from Line Man. He must have ordered 50 things. So it's like I'm standing in line. It's like they're running around like chickens without their heads on. Got two people here. And they got this guy who wants like 50 things. They got two other people here plus me. So that's why I'm a little bit behind. But give me a minute and I'll be ready. Not had my coffee yet even. All right. What's happening, everybody? It's a lovely Tuesday today. Actually, it's not so lovely, but there's only a 20% chance of rain. The thing is it's a 20% chance of rain. And it's raining. It's drizzling. How you doing today? We're bunkie? I don't understand that last word, Richard. Let me see if I put this thing up. I didn't do it yet. Let me see here. I want to do this real quick. If I can. I just noticed that the PR department of Thailand has come out with some more information, or they came out with some more information that I just recognized. I just realized they had it, about the Thailand Pass, which is the alternative, the replacement for the, here we go, the replacement for the certificate of entry. And let's see here. All right, I just posted it in the community tab of my channel. That is, if it uploads. Yeah, there we go. All right. And it gives you a somewhat convoluted way of telling you what's necessary and what you need to do. It does look a little bit easier. What is Bunky Boy? I don't understand you, Richard. I'm not in a bad mood. I don't feel good. When do I ever feel good? Physically. The Thai baht right now is 33.34. And like I said, 20% chance of rain. And What else? 49 is the air quality index. I'm doing this off the top of my head. 81 degrees, high 86, low is 79. The feel like temperature right now is 86. There is the visa exempt. I don't even think you know what you're talking about, Duke Nukem. I really don't think you know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. When you come in and there are countries that have visa exemptions, as in they come in and they have to fill out paperwork at the airport. There are also countries like the United States that come in, they don't say anything, you don't have to fill anything out, you just come into the country. That's like the United States, UK, many other Western countries. So the visa exempt technically is not going away. Or visa on arrival, however you want to call it, because you come to the country without a visa. Their wording is very, just like everything else in Thailand. It's a mess. The government is a mess. The way they communicate is a mess. And I still think with all this stuff that, with all their changes and everything, I mean, who says we're opening November 1st and the information comes out and is finalized, like days before? What do they think? People are just going to jump on a jet? How many people just jump on a jet to Thailand and come over? I don't get it. Well, let me take a look at something here. You're saying that you don't need a visa, but it depends on how you're coming into the country when you say visa exempt. Oh, this is too big now. I can't see anything here. So this says nothing about a visa. So you are correct, but I think it's only for the tourists who want to come in, who normally would come in with a visa or just come in. I don't think it applies. This is only applying to certain countries. They've only announced 5 countries. So supposedly in the next day or two, they're going to announce, actually today or tomorrow, they're supposed to announce the remainder of the list, what countries are on that list. I look like a friend you have in the States. I hear that all the time. You look like my buddy. What is this? I have waited the 3 years to comment on your channel. What 3 years? I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to wait 3 years to comment on the channel. If that were the case, people like Duke Nukem, who I don't think is I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's subscribed to the channel. There are people that aren't subscribed that in the past, and if things get out of hand, then I'll put something like you got to be subscribed for 5 years or something, but that doesn't happen very often at all. By Andy and Mr. Mitch. Okay, all right. Both good guys. What is a joke, the 30 days or 60 days? Well, I don't understand. If you are a tourist, how long do you need for a tourist visa? 6 months. To me, 6 months would seem like the max. There are many countries that is their maximum, 6 months in a year, if you have a tourist visa or if you are visa exempt. Now, visa exempt right now, obviously, like Longhorns is here, he had no visa, okay? He just comes in, does his thing, just say he used the certificate of entry instead of the newer, improved, more amazing Thailand pass, which I hate all these names for this stuff because I can't keep track of all of it. This is exactly like what they do with these phone services, which is they have so many promotions, you don't even know which promotion is a good promotion. or the best promotion. It's like, oh, well, I need this one. Okay. And then you find out there's a better one. If people didn't know, listen, if you don't know, you can get, for 150 baht, you can get 100 gigabytes of bandwidth to use. Whereas when you look on the website or you talk to them, it's like 5 gigabytes is like 150 baht. So, you know, it's all a juggling act, and it's like they're shuffling, what the hell's the name of it? They're shuffling the thing where they shuffle and you don't know what's what. When I went to Costa Rica, it was 90 days for at least a citizen, just fine, and then stamp it for 90 days. Well, that's what they do here, basically, although you come, I can't even keep track of it anymore. It's changed so many times over the years now, especially in the last few years. They've made alterations that I don't even know what's what, but it used to be you come in, you get 2 months on a tourist visa, and you can extend for a month, so you get 3 months. Then after that, if you had a single entry, you'd have to go out of the country again, get another tourist visa. Now they have the special tourist visa, and they have this, and they have that, and it's like, really, it used to be that 8 years ago, when I first started on the channel, it was much more simple, it was more straightforward. Now, obviously, things are a little different now, but they've made it, this is the problem, and when the telegram, and this is only a few days ago, the telegram comes out and says, Thailand is the most difficult place in the world to get into, the most difficult country to enter. What does that tell you? And you're supposed to be this amazing, more amazing. What's more amazing? Thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate that. Yeah, I could use a couple beers. What I like, I tell you what I would really like, and I haven't felt good the last couple of weeks. I'd like a really sound night of sleep, like a 10-hour, I need to take a couple of Valiums. Go to sleep for like 10, 12 hours. Then I would feel rested. I don't know why. It's like when I was, maybe it's age, because everybody that I know who's older has the same problem. Jono, Longhorns to a lesser extent. My buddy Steve, who comes in here every once in a while. Almost everybody I know, they all wake up at like 4 in the morning or something like that. All right, there's the one lady of the day, Prail. She is here. I don't know this guy's name. So we got 2 people working here, and I am the only person in Starbucks at the moment. But like in Krabi, I'm sure I can get some Valium if I want them, but I'm not really big on, taking sleeping pills. My doctor gave me a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I had a couple. He gave me like 10. I think he gave me 20, and they last me for like a year. And they helped. But anyway, in Krabi, they're complaining they don't think that the government should be opening up because too many businesses are out of business. They don't have the money to get back in business. They're worried that people are going to show up here. There you go. You see what I mean? I wake up almost every night at 3 or 4. And I don't wake up to take a piss. It's not a prostate thing or anything like that. It's just I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that, but all I know is that the doctor gave me some, and I was like, man, I'm amazed how much better I feel after a great night's sleep. So I've already tried the melatonin. It works for a little while, but you know what the problem with melatonin? It makes me go to sleep, but then I just wake up again. So it's like I got to take it like twice during the evening. What's the point of that? I'll tell you what the answer is. I'll tell you what the answer is. I have no idea what you're talking about, Zach. Good to see you, though. More exercise, not just walking. Like an afternoon routine, like I used to do when I used to go to the boxing gym all the time. An afternoon routine for just even 45 minutes would be good, and that'll probably do the trick. So I just answered my own question. But anyway, what I was saying is Krabi is complaining because the alcohol is not being sold. Now, hopefully they'll stop that, and they'll allow people to start buying booze at pubs, and they'll open the pubs, because what's happening is people are coming and they're like, well, there's nothing to do. Where are we going to go? A lot of the tour companies are closed. A lot of the transportation companies, they're closed. It's more difficult to get around. And so this is what I was saying in the beginning. I said what's going to happen eventually is the infrastructure is going to break down. And they're going to get to the point where it's going to be difficult for people to come in here. Well, thank you, Hoofs. I did used to train in a boxing gym, and a long time ago I used to lift weights, but even body weight exercises and long walks in the morning and stuff like that will help. But you're right, the whole body routine is the way to go. But anyway, so they're complaining they don't want Thailand to open up. And I saw an article here, Krabi is only like 31% of the people are fully vaccinated. So what's the point of bringing the people? You're telling the world, well, we're going to abide by the 70% vaccination rate, and then you're just going to open up anyway, even though the area is only 31% vaccinated. This is from the Pattaya News. Says most local entrepreneurs can't afford to reopen their businesses. Many of them were closed already as well. We were also afraid the number of foreign tourists would not come as much as expected. This is the other thing. So they're going to open up. They're not going to have that many people come, because just like in Phuket, they're delusional. They wanted 129,000 tourists. Really, they got 20,000. And so you have them really coming out with these delusional numbers. And now they think, oh, well, everybody's going to come back. Oh, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I wanted to talk about this. Have you seen this new, the video they put out, More Amazing Thailand? It's absolutely, and I've got two schools of thought that I've seen so far. One is they're completely delusional, which is me. That's my school of thought. That's many other people's school of thought. And then the other is, oh my God, it's so great. What a wonderful video. Their video has absolutely nothing to do with the country being more amazing or welcoming people back. And so, I really want to be positive. I'm like looking hard to be positive. But I think when you're positive just for the sake of being positive, even though the facts show that things are negative, you're delusional. And I think, listen, I could say the same thing about people back in the United States about, how they've got an author who's a white woman writing about Mexicans, and they're canceling her. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This is the same thing. Hey, everybody, come to Thailand. It's the most wonderful place. Everything is it's fantastic here. Well, if it's fantastic, then why is it so difficult to get into the country? If everything is beautiful here and going so well. Hoofses. I don't know how to say that, but Hoofses. I have my doubts about Thailand coming back the way that it was before. Richard, Chuck is busy. He wanted to come on before a concert he went to the other day. Okay, Hoof. But he couldn't come in. I didn't want him to come in for a number of reasons. First of all, they're playing music that's copyrighted. And second of all, Chuck makes a nice addition once in a while. Like at the Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever. So does Soy Dog Cowboy. But I don't want to rely on them, because it's I don't know. I don't want to rely on anybody but myself, to be completely honest. Chuck's got things to do. He's got a life to live, and same with Soy Dog Cowboy, and that's about it. And I don't know. You should just call him Chucky, like as in Chuck E. Cheese. He'll be on again, and so will Soy Dog Cowboy. And who knows? There might be other people on. But like right now, I'm concentrating on 50 different things, and I got things I'm working on. I'm trying to figure out, should I go somewhere? Should Longhorns and I go somewhere? Is he going to want to go? What about this trip that I've been talking about with going down the river on a raft? Because that's a huge endeavor, much bigger than this is always how it is. It's much bigger than I really can imagine. Yes, I did say hello. Every time I see him, I say, Richard's asking about you. And sometimes there's one or two other people asking about him, so I always make sure to tell him. Everything's cool with him. He actually sent me a photo today that was of his friend who became a U.S. citizen. And so he was, very proud of that the guy had become a U.S. citizen, which is great, legally. Yeah, exactly. It's Prince or Sir Charles. Wasn't that what it was? We said Sir Charles. And to say that Thailand is being optimistic, that's a very polite, politically correct way of saying it. My way is that they're just they've lost the plot, man. And I know that maybe they're figuring, you can't blame them. They're figuring, okay, well, if we want 40 million people, and we get 10 million, hey, it's still 10 million. So we got to shoot high. But I think when you have people saying, it says right here in this article, therefore we do not agree with opening the country in all areas, especially Krabi province, where a number of daily infections is still found as well as deaths. Well, that's going to happen no matter what. That being said, we know the final decision is not ours. However, we feel that it is not putting the best foot forward for Krabi. And what I find kind of sad is you see Colin Powell died. The guy was 84 years old. And it's got to be attached to the COVID. He couldn't just die because he's 84 years old. And listen, that happens. So I don't get this. I don't get the whole. Are they gonna abide by their standards that they set here or not? They didn't in Phuket. They set a limit for the number of people the number of cases per day. They surpassed that. They still stayed open. And what the hell does booze have to do with it? You got all these companies that are going under, and I feel for these people, man. You go down the street now and you see, business after business that's closed, shop house after shop house that says for rent. I come in here, look at this. I'll show you something. You see this? What, am I the only guy with balls? I don't think so. I don't think that's what it is. Or am I the only really stupid person here? I don't think that's what it is either. So you got more grab drivers here than you do customers. And while this is not always the case, this is just it's the new way. And by the way, let me see if I can find it. Well, that's what I mean. It's so ridiculous to say, oh well, it's the COVID. It's the COVID. The COVID killed him. No, the COVID didn't kill him. It wasn't the COVID. He had underlying issues, and he probably would have died whether there was COVID or not. And they failed to say that, which is really annoying. It doesn't look busy here. I'm the only person here, Richard. Now there's 2 Grab drivers. There's 2 Grab drivers, there's 2 Starbucks employees, and there's me. Now my thing's not coming up here. What's going on? You know what really grinds my gears? I know, I don't understand it. She was 150, but the COVID got her. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, it's good that you keep up with things, Duke. That's fairly well known, but thank you. Hopefully they'll switch over to something that the United States will recognize, because otherwise it'll make things a little difficult for me. And it's like now I got to go and get 2 more shots to be able to get in the United States. I'm not sure how that works, but thank you, China, once again. I despise that country now, really, and the government, and some of the people, the followers, the ones who willingly and know what's going on. They know what their country's doing, and it's not all China's fault either, though. I got to say that the United States is it's like the Keystone Cops now. It's a bunch of bumbling idiots. All right, let me see something here, because I got a new. It ain't much, but it's only $20. This thing that I got here, this shirt that I came out with. I finally did it. Where's it at here? Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can put this up. Yes. All right, let me put this up real quick. All right, so that's for the new shirt. Illogical logic is what did I put? Is the new norm? Yeah, is the new norm. I might have to get one just to piss some people off. Jeremy, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I do. You guys are the ones. You guys who contribute, especially, you're the ones who make me wake up. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing this, and then I think, listen, there's a lot of people who they pay every month. So, I don't expect them to, they listen, they're very good about that. I'm very fortunate in that sense that I have monthly subscribers. And then there's people that come in and, feel like I gotta give you as much as I can for your money. And that I can muster. But anyway, this is the shirt. Illogical logic is the new norm. I'm gonna have to get one myself because I haven't ordered one yet. Now my computer is down. Lovely. Starbucks, you know, they're supposed to allow you, I don't know how long it is, but it's like 15, 20 minutes, and then that's it. Maybe changing the way my mind works. Hey, you never know. I still hate the CCP, so I don't think it's changing it that much. All right, so anyway, let's go back here. It should be working. When did we get to this point where no logic is the norm? China's building their own commercial aircraft. Yeah, okay, well, I tell you what, if it works like their fucking DJI drone works, I won't be flying on their aircraft. I tell you that right now. And choke D to you, Jeremy. Choke D to you, Richard. I haven't said that, but choke D. I think about it. Let me just tell you something about their drones. Listen, once they're up there and they're flying, and DJI is made in China, I guess at least most of it. This is the second time now. I got the thing. The drone itself works, but their little, what the hell is it called? The little, the little control thingy. I'm blanking now. What the hell do they call it? The controller. Their controller, it went out, and I'm like, why did it go out? Well, it happens. I try to find a new one. I try to get them to fix it. Sorry, we don't do that. And we don't have any. You may remember this. So then I take it to a guy, he fixes it. All he had to do was open the thing up and heat this little component up, because if it sits for too long, then I guess it will stop working. So now it did it again. And I'm like, son of a bitch, as much as I like the drone shots, I'm like, do I have to use this every frickin' day? I mean, who says I mean, like, listen, I would think if I use it once a week, once every 2 weeks, it would be fine. If you fly your plane once every 2 weeks, it doesn't mean that the plane is going to get grounded because things are falling apart or breaking or not working. Yeah, it's the soldering, exactly. This soldering that will fix it. And knowing me, I'll take the thing apart, and I'll have it all apart and think that I can fix it, and then for some reason I'll lose a part or something. That's why I just take it to this guy, and I don't remember how much it was. It was 1,000 or 1,500 baht or something. He did it, it worked, he tested it out and everything, and so that way I know, you know. Thank you very much, Richard. It's your $2. Today is the day where we get Richard's $2. Kind of like your 2 cents. That's all I do here is just give my 2 cents. Another grab driver in. There's nobody here. Absolutely nobody. And the grocery will open up in about 20 minutes. So it's a bit odd. Let's see here. I got some other things to talk about. Now, strangely enough, yeah, well, that's what happens every single time. Be a good boy now. I'm not even going to comment on that. Let me put these glasses on. My eyes are just... actually, the majority of people, most say it's too early to reopen the country. Now, this is a bit misleading, but let me just get into this a little bit. A majority of people disagree with the government's decision to reopen the country on November 1st, saying that the time is not yet right for it, according to the result of an opinion survey by Suan Dusit Ratchabat University, or Suan Dusit poll. The poll was conducted online during October 11th to 14th on 1,329 people. That's not a really large poll. Throughout the country to gauge their opinions on Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's announcement that after being forced to close by the COVID-19 pandemic, the country would reopen on November 1st. Actually, he said October 1st. But they don't want to bring, originally slated to open October 1st. Then he changed his mind and said, oh, we can't do it. We're going to have to do it November 1st. But they leave that out, just like they left out the 629,000 people that they said were going to be going to Phuket. And, remember when I went to Phuket? Remember when I went there? I had a hard time finding restaurants. Now, I'm fairly certain that it's a little better now. I would hope so. But that gives you an idea. It was like at Khao the same thing. No restaurant. Oh, what do you want? Oh, well, there's pizza, and spring rolls on the street. That kind of thing. That's about how it was. Asked whether the country is ready to reopen to tourists without quarantine requirements, a majority, 60.10, said no, while the remaining 39.9 said yes. Asked whether they agreed with the reopening date of November 1st, 59.86% said no, and 40.14 said yes. 74.78% cited the inoculation of more than 70% of the population with quality vaccines, 69.4% the ability to contain the pandemic. How are you going to contain it any more than you've contained it already if you're opening up? 68.31% readiness in terms of health services, hospitals, and medical personnel. This is an issue in Thailand, actually, the medical services of the future, because they have an aging population here. And a larger number of people will be over 65 in the near future. And they're going to need more healthcare facilities. They're going to need to bump it up a little bit. Thank you very much, Andy. God, I look like shit today, man. That's why sometimes I do these videos where, choke me, by the way, Andy. That's why I do these kind of like podcastings where I just put my picture up, because I feel like I look like shit. I don't feel like sitting there and, making sure I'm in frame and centered. It's much easier. I should have started out on a podcast, I'll tell you that. James Bond, so they got the same tape on. By the way, I saw the James Bond movie. Went with the wife and kids and saw the James Bond movie, and I thought it was good. Sorry, Duke, I didn't think it was a piece of shit, but I thought it was good, and not the best Bond movie. And I'll tell you what, Daniel Craig is starting to look old, so it's good this is his last one. But it was good. It could have been better, but it was good. It was worth going to, worth the day out. And, good day, all. Good day. Got to love Thailand. I like to put it a little bit differently. It's kind of like, I don't know if that's the right word, because hate is not the right word. Love, dislike. There are things like, the way that the administration handles government matters that I dislike. Just like in the United States. I still like people in the United States. I still like the places in the United States. I still like the ideal of what America is. But there's a hell of a lot I don't like there. And there's a lot that I love here. You know, I love the fact that you go down the street and you can say hello to anybody, and damn near anybody will stop and talk to you. And if you need a little help, hey, can you tell me which way to go? Some people will like walk you over. I mean, the other day I went to go get an umbrella, and I was in this section. It was like the ladies' stocking section, and that's where they had it. And this lady walked me all the way across this section here. She walked me all the way across just to show me where it is. She pointed, and she goes, "Let me take you over there and show you." And I go, "Oh, okay, very nice." Now, maybe they do that in America too, but my point is, on the whole, the Thai people make this place. And so if they don't feel comfortable with foreigners coming here, and foreigners don't really want to come here, it just seems like they can do more. Am I missing something? Because I don't, like I said, I don't want to slam the government for no good reason, but I think that, I just think they can do more. I think they can do more. Instead of spending, $15 million on a concert, which is funny because La Lisa is supposed to sing. She's supposed to sing on this bridge, Saracen Bridge, that is between, what was it, Koh Phangan and Phuket. That way people from both sides can see it. And I told that to my wife, and my wife goes, "What? No, what?" She said, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yes." She didn't believe me. She's like, what are they thinking? And I'm like, well, maybe they're gonna have like 1 million, 2 million people turn out to go see this girl. You never know. Well, thank you, Richard. I don't consider myself to be, everyday people. Now, let me go on with this because I get off track sometimes. 66.03% believe mandatory testing of people before entering places. What? 65% tourist confidence in safeties at such facilities as airport, public transportation, restaurants, and hotels. I think they're asking too much. This is the people that were polled. That's only 1,329 people, but expecting that you're 100% safe when you go into a place, it's unrealistic. I just think it's unrealistic. It's my opinion. I'm standing by it. I think it's unrealistic to think that you can go into a place and you're guaranteed you're going to be 100% safe from catching this virus. And by the way, if you go over to the park that I go to, which I've been thinking about going over to, it's Suan Phuc. My wife always laughs how I say it, but it's basically the park that I go to all the time over where the guys play basketball and bocce ball, and then you go walk a little farther and there's a market and stuff. They have closed that park for 2 months for maintenance. And what she says is probably they didn't want to say that somebody got COVID there or somebody had COVID that had been there. Anybody's guess, your guess is as good as mine. Elective surgery has been canceled here. The waiting list is 90 days. Too bad if you need a heart operation. That's just horse shit. Yes, Bruce, I know. Bruce, I don't know, Bruce, if you're watching or what, but this is the big thing right now is that people have been noticing that small amounts of money, including myself, have been withdrawn from their bank accounts. And it's quite a large number of people. Like in my case, I thought I didn't have any money in my Siam Commercial Bank because I don't keep any money in that account most of the time. I just move money around and keep money there for my kids and stuff like that. And I had like 50 baht in there, right? Then I notice, I go, what the hell is this? 4 bot, 5 bot, 4 bot. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, maybe the reason is because they're taking this out like from my ATM card or something. I go, wait, how's that? I'm like, that can't be that, because that's the only reason that they ever take any money out of my account. I don't have anything attached to the account. And no, they don't have a negative interest rate. There are people that have hacked into their system and got people's information, and they're able to take out small amounts of money without people knowing. And what they do is they take it out numerous times, and you're talking about quite a large number of people. And this is the other issue. Do you trust Thailand's cybersecurity enough to give them all your information when time after time, just in the last 6 months, they have had, I can't even count how many instances where they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't secure this page. Look at for the COVID, when people were registering, when foreigners were registering, they didn't have it secure. It was left open so that somebody could go in and, Bruce is saying 19 bot on 2 separate dates. I'm going to say mine was 4 bot on 2 separate days. Siam Commercial Bank, SCB, which is not my main bank. Okay, Bruce, if you're watching, go in the chat. Don't keep sending me line messages. I forgot to turn off the notifications. So, are you going to put in all your information for the Thailand Pass into the system when you're like, I don't really know if it's secure? I'm sure that there are people out there that are thinking the same way as I am. Is it really that secure? Which, I don't know what the issue is. I know there's always people that can hack into things, and it makes it very difficult. It's a race, but that's the way it is. I don't know what you live for, pal, but please speak in English. I live for this, okay? You live for what? That crazy North Korean guy just fired another rocket. China more aggressive than ever. The West sending more and more. Well, if it gets to that point, Norwegian polar bear, it's time to get the hell out of Dodge. Well, I don't know. I'm not all that worried right now, to be honest. I'm certainly not worried about North Korea. They'll be obliterated. If they do anything wrong, they're going to get obliterated. And I agree, robotic eye. Oh, God. Bruce, please stop sending me line messages. Just come into the chat. Come on in. Yeah, okay. Duke Nukem, your name's not Andrew, is it? Wouldn't surprise me if it is. All right, let's see here. Asked to choose unfavorable conditions for the reopening. 71.6% of the population said the population is not fully vaccinated. 70.45% the possibility that COVID could spread further in the country. Well, it could spread further in the country, and it probably will. There will be some spikes in the future, I believe. Here's a good one. 66.11%, the possibility that tourists could bring in the virus. 61.05% concerns over new COVID variants, and 55.92% the lack of a clear plan to cope with the further spread of the virus. I like bring the tourists in. 66% of them are worried that the tourists are going to bring it in. I mean, it's a valid concern, but at the end of the day, are we going to live with it or are we not going to live with it? Crazy. Pick the benefits of reopening the country. 77.29% cited the revival of the economy. No shit. 74.4% people would have jobs and earn a living. Isn't that important? And this is something else that I was going to talk about. We're at a war. Countries are at a war within themselves right now. It's a political war, a power war, a medical war, and a business war. We're all battling each other. All these groups are battling each other. The power hungry, like politicians, but not only limited to politicians. The media is part of that. What's going on here again? Their internet just sucks here. I will say that Starbucks internet has always been shit. No offense, but Starbucks, get your shit together. When it comes to internet, their internet just is terrible all the time. It's always on and off, on and off, on and off. Get it together. People far underestimate the importance of the economy. Well, this is why I was talking about Krabi, where they're like, hey, listen, nobody has money to open up their businesses. People are coming, and they're going, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do here? And just think about this. The costs are going to go up. Because if there's not as many people coming, how are you going to transport people and make a profit? Some of these transport companies are making 50 baht a person, and they get 12 people, and they're making 600 baht on a trip. And maybe they have to pay the drivers, they have to pay the driver's salary. So if you don't have the 12 people, if you did that once in a while where maybe there's 2 people, 3 people, they can hang in there, but they can't do it all the time. And I'll tell you, the Songtao that goes to and from my village, we used to have a Songtao like every 10 minutes. Now it's like every 30 minutes. And it's the one guy that is like the slowest driver out of everybody. He just takes his sweet ass time, and he's got plenty of time because he's only doing 1 trip an hour. He takes 1 trip, then he goes back, and then he waits another 30 minutes, then he comes back, he waits 30 minutes. You can't get on a flight without being vaxxed, supposed to be tested, a chance of... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I agree with that. And I agree, we just have to live with it, get the people vaccinated, and, we got to live with it. Okay, 68% generating income from tourism, 64% tourism-related business would revive. That's what they're saying. Would be revived. That's what it's supposed to say. 57.8% investors and business operators would regain confidence in the country. Come on. Are you really that confident? And I'm not even talking about Thailand necessarily or specifically. I'm talking about, are you confident to invest right now? To me, and then now what I am worried about is all the climate change people. Listen, the climate is going to change naturally. And maybe we've had something to do with it. Okay, I can agree with that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they start with the regulations and guidelines and nobody can travel, only this many people can travel, you've got to have a permit to travel. That's how it's going to be in the future. And I'm glad I'll probably be gone by then. 40%, I don't know. Asked to cite the unfavorable effects of reopening, 83.43% said COVID cases might again rise. 74.6% the country might again be placed in lockdown. Well, wouldn't that suck? We're still socially distancing, supposedly. At least they're not getting anal about it here. In Australia, they are. You're standing next to this person. You're not supposed to. You're going to jail. Put your mask on. Yeah, but I just walked outside. I thought it was allowed to. Yeah, but you didn't have your mask on 1 foot inside. I mean, it's ridiculous. And again, I'm going to say, get yourself a shirt. Illogical logic is the new norm, and that's what it is. Where has logic gone? Out the fucking window. Excuse my language. I gotta watch my mouth. So anyway, how many of you are gonna come over here? Reports are that just another version of the sandbox, so most tourist business won't survive out there. True. If you look at the Phuket sandbox, I'm going to say it again, and I've said it many times, and I don't mean to drone on about this. Not a DJI drone, by the way, an American drone, if there are any, with no Chinese parts in it. When you say that there's going to be 500,000 domestic tourists, and you don't even get 20,000 of that, and then you say that there's going to be 129,000 international tourists, and maybe you get 15% of that. And then you try to call it a success? I don't get that. It's another thing, I don't get it. I was just fired today, be right there. Were you really? I don't know if that sucks or that might be a good thing. All right, they're opening up now. There's actually an elderly woman here and also a husband and wife and their son. So there are a few people here. And I don't know if this is the guy that used to come in here all the. There's a couple foreigners that I have not seen here for for a year, 2 years now, that they used to come here all the time, and I'm like, now I remember, where's that guy at? He hasn't been coming in. What happened to him? You come from around down under, you better run, you better take cover. Yeah. I liken it to an ostrich, although ostriches don't really do this, but put their head under the ground. I just stick my head in the ground, Only thing is, I got to worry about the wife and kids, but we've had long conversations about it, and all in due time. The kids got to get through school. They got to finish school. They got to make their own way. But there's some places that are easier to live than others. And I tell you what, the little trip to Hua Hin the other day was a nice little getaway. I don't know that Hua Hin is like the answer. Is one place the answer? I don't really think so. You're welcome. You're welcome, Steve. But it is a nice place. It is nice. And I think if you're in the right area of Hua Hin or the Prachuap Khiri Khan province, there are some great places that you can hang your hat. and it's close enough to Bangkok, which is a good thing as well. So I'm like looking at the future and trying to figure out, I already know Bangkok is not in our future. It's not in our long distance future. If I make it that long, if I make it another, say, 4 or 5 years, it's not in our future. Yeah, that's something that people forget about polar bear. You think about I was saying this to, thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate that. Choke D to you. I was saying this to Longhorns. And, there was 4 of us that took this trip. Myself, Longhorns, and Patia Bob and his girl. Okay, here comes another one. She's going to try to get out. I don't understand why they don't just open the damn place up. Why they don't just open all at the same time. They won't ever have that problem. But what I was saying is, and I've said this about my own family as well, it's so easy for me just to go myself with nobody. I just go. I don't have to worry about scheduling, and I just schedule stuff in my head. I know, okay, I want to be up by this time. I want to be out the door by this time. I got a couple places I might want to go. Very simple. You want to go to Hua Hin with 3 other people. You want to go wherever, Krabi, Chiang Mai, wherever it might be, with your family. Like my family, we've got 4 people. We got 4 people, but we also have a dog and a cat to think about. And it just makes it's a logistical accomplishment to be able to get everything taken care of and done and not be stressed out. A little bit stressed out at least. So then when you add into the mix all this paperwork, it's like, who's going to come? Really, who's going to come from America? How many people? There are some desperate people that will come. And I mean, they're desperate for whatever reason. I'm not just saying, the horny guys. I'm talking about guys who maybe they got a wife here or a girlfriend, or, they got a house here or something and they haven't been able to get in for whatever reason. The people from Australia, they haven't been able to leave. The people, they're going to be like, you know what? All right, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but I'll jump through a couple of hoops, and they'll come. I don't get these polls. To me, as much as I'd like to read into this and say, wow, you see just how bad it is. No, you got 1,300 people, 1,329 people. It's all the same bullshit. Unfavorable effects. 58.85 cases of illegal border crossings might increase, and 48.19% people's living conditions might be affected. My living conditions are already affected. It's been affected for how long? Yes, Duke Nukem. She is Winnie the Pooh. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And choke D to you. I appreciate it. The horny guys are going to have a rude awakening if they come now. Hey, man. You better know how to use Tinder or Line or whatever else to find your girls, because I just don't see it being the same in the future. Now, there are places, like in Pattaya, and some of the other people who own a lot of clubs and they got a lot of money, or they got enough money to stay afloat or whatever. Yeah, they might come back. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I guess there's always. Here's what my buddy told me this a long time ago. He goes, "Hey, poverty breeds bar girls," and ain't that the truth? Here in Thailand, that's what breeds them. I mean, sure, you get some of the real high-so ones, the ones who they're just out to get rich, find a sugar daddy or a couple of sugar daddies. They just want to get that money. But that's few and far between, and I can guarantee you that none of you guys are getting any of that stuff. You know. Okay, let me go on here. Now, here we go. Now, you just heard the poll, the one poll. Here's another one. November 1. November 1 opening will kickstart the recovery of Thai economy. CASHAPP Research Center. Whenever they want something positive, it always seems to me that they go to that CASHAPP Research Center. Opening the country from November 1 will give Thailand's tourism industry a much-needed boost, and positive economic growth can be expected next year if the COVID-19 situation is well managed, the CASHAPP Research Center said on Saturday. The center said the number of foreign arrivals should rise by 64%, especially since the November 1 opening falls within Thailand's high season. The center predicts that 2021 will see a total of 180,000 foreign tourists, 30,000 more than it forecast previously, generating revenue of at least 13.5 billion baht. All right, so that's November, December. So what they're saying is 3,000 tourists a day. I would think that's possible. That would be on track for what? Just over 10 million a year. The research center also said the key factors drawing visitors to the country include provinces with low infection rates. Well, Bangkok's got the highest infection rate, or the highest number of cases, rather, of any province. Special tourist visas, I don't think that's it, and sandbox schemes. The Phuket Sandbox Scheme, launched in July, has proved to be very popular among tourists from the US, UK, Germany, and the Middle East. I don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. How many of you buy that? Do you really believe that it's very popular among tourists from the US, UK, Germany, and the Middle East? Do you really believe that? I find it hard to believe. But I'm a pessimist, I admit it. Meanwhile, Google's travel insight data shows that more people have been hunting for hotel or accommodation deals in Thailand. Countries with the highest number of searches include Russia, the US, UK, Germany, and India. The search centered around Bangkok, Pattaya City, Koh Samui, in Sortani, and Phuket's Karan and Patong areas. Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess Google knows all. The research center added that the most crucial factor to bring Thailand's tourism sector back would be to properly manage the pandemic by getting more than 70% of the population fully vaccinated. Now, yeah, but how many people are coming? Just because they're open doesn't mean that there's a lot of tourists coming. I can tell you that only maybe 20% of what they expected have come. That's it. So if it's so great, why are more people not coming? You know why they're not coming? Because it's too much of a headache. It's too much of a headache. You say what you will about Phuket. I went there before the Phuket's sandbox went into place, and it was deader than dead. I mean, it was sad, flat out sad. How's Jono doing? Um, well, he hurt his knee again. He re-injured his knee, so he's okay. But I think it's a bit of a drag when you're constantly getting injured from just listen, he's older, just like me. Your body starts breaking down a little bit. Some people's bodies don't break down. Some people's do. And his really, it's through no fault of his. It's basically um, the 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 sidewalks here in Thailand. He walks on the sidewalk and listen, everybody I know has had an instance where they tripped, they fell, they stubbed their toe. My buddy Scott, he tripped and fell in a drain. It was one of these small drains, and I would say if you're ever walking down the street, first of all, in Thailand, if you really be careful where you walk and don't walk on top of a drain. Don't trust the drain. So what he did was he was walking. I did not see it. When I was there, I did not see it. Did not look like it was running. Anyway, he was walking along, and the drain grate fell in. He slipped. He went in and he banged his leg. Now I think he's 59. He's almost 60. He banged his leg on the edge of the grate, and he hurt himself so badly he had to go into the doctor. He goes into the doctor. The doctor goes, "Oh, you have a compartment, like what's it called? Compartment syndrome, where he had a mushy spot in his leg, and he's got to take medicine and he's got to wear a stocking now because of the danger of blood clots." It's no joke, man. And I mean, listen, it could be me. I mean, things have happened to me. Listen, when I was getting off the, what was it, the Chao Phraya riverboat, where did I go? I went somewhere, and if you remember, I went across the river on one of the boats. I went to, I think, what is it, Bangkok, something like that island in the middle of the Chao Phraya. You turn the TV on. And I was coming back. And when I came back, the boat's rocking back and forth. I go up, I get up, I cleared with one leg, and my foot got caught on the boat, and I banged my leg on the edge of the pier. And it was bleeding and it hurt. I mean, my leg was bruised for a couple of days. You got to be careful, and this is what happens when you get old, I guess, You have little accidents. I think what it is you have little accidents when you're young, and you spring right back. The next day you're like, I don't feel anything from it. But then, when you get a little bit older, it takes longer to recover, or the damage is more extensive. So, anyway, let me continue here, finish up. How long have we been on here? 74 minutes. Carlos, how you doing? What's happening? You know what? Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have to find this. I want to find this one particular video, if I can. If my YouTube will work on my computer, if Starbucks will allow me to. I'm gonna put up the more amazing Thailand video. I've been feeding the chickens. Have you been totally relaxed there? And how's Mama doing? All right, let me see here if I can find this. What's it called? I'll let you guys be the judge for yourself. All right, here it is. Let me see. Wow, you can get a QR code from this. Totally chill. That's what I like about being out in the villages, man. It's very, very relaxing. All right, let me see here. When you guys get a chance, take a look at that. It's only a minute long, this video. Amazing Thailand, more amazing Thailand. And listen, I don't want to don't get it twisted. Thailand is amazing in many ways. But I think and you know, if you look into this, you look at the comments on, it's really funny. If you look at the comments on YouTube, the comments are overwhelmingly positive. If you look at the comments on Facebook, they're overwhelmingly negative. But take a look at that when you can, because I don't even get I think that well, I want to let you guys watch it, but I think the whole video is based around Thailand being a place that people dream of going. But they have some things in there that I was just sitting there just going, what in the hell are they? I have no idea what point they're trying to get across here. Because what makes, the whole thing is more amazing. What makes it more amazing than pre-COVID? I mean, okay, maybe some of the beaches are cleaner. The coral life has started to grow back, and the ocean is better, and you know, blah blah blah. Okay, great. Other than that, though, what makes it so much more amazing? It was already amazing. How about just like, you know, welcome back. We love our tourists, or something like that. I have picked up 2 more patients, and they are doing much better. It's amazing that, you know, if you just tell them a few little things, it will make a difference in their life. You know, a few things that, you know, hey, did you ever think about trying some fungal cream or something like that? And then they feel better, you know. Out in the villages, sometimes they just don't know, you know. Okay, but graphics, that's not the message. What, you know, we want the message. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's semantics. Education on the issues makes a difference. Yeah, exactly. Make Thailand great again. Gennaro, ever the smartass. Make Thailand great again. Woohoo! Listen, you know, we seem to play on people's good memories of Thailand and how we dream about going back. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little too jaded, but like I look at it and I go, do you remember when they were begging the expats to travel around Thailand to help the country, and yet they were saying things about the expat, like Anutin, guys like Anutin were saying, you know, oh, it's the dirty foreigners' fault. People like me don't forget that stuff. But then again, maybe I'm a little different. But I don't forget that. I don't forget them, you know, saying, I don't forget the lies. Whether it's Thailand, America, wherever it is, I don't forget the lies. 50% of your favorite drink. Dickens cider. Well, gee, what a thoughtful, insightful comment. You know, not everybody is going to be able to live the good life like Longhorns, where he can just chill out all day if he wants and have coffee, you know. Well, there you go. Who's Matt? I don't know who Matt is. Dick Insider. Beautiful video, but I don't think the drugs needed for this experience are legal in Thailand. I mean, it's a nice video. Don't get me wrong. I just think that the message that it's sending is like convoluted. I've been in many Thai Airways lounges, so I don't know what you're talking about. They've told me did you ever get in any scraps in Thailand when I was younger? Yes. They've told me foreigners aren't allowed That's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous, man. That's complete nonsense. Because foreigners have their card. I have their silver or platinum or whatever it is, miles card. So I mean, you know, I don't get that. They can advertise as much as they want. Problem is the tourists are busy getting their lives back. There you go. Vacations aren't a big, yeah, they're not a priority. And, you know, I was thinking about it like, well, wow, where's the place that I want to go the most? Back home to the U.S. to see my family. I don't care about traveling, oh, I want to have fun. Oh, I want to stream. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice, but, you know, like, I don't, you know, it's not my top priority right now because I know what a pain in the ass it is. They need to raise the bar slowly and not sell the place too high and folks get here and be disappointed. And yeah, Carlos, that was something I was saying earlier. Where, like, in Krabi, they're complaining they don't want to open because they're worried that people are going to come and they're going to go, well, there's nothing to do here. You know. And I think when I went to Riley, what did I do? I went out, walked the beach, walked around. I got drunk one day, or a little, you know, had a couple drinks one day. And I took a boat. To, you know, the islands, a couple of islands. They don't have a ristretto at Starbucks, not at this one. Yes, I had the mojitos. And then I had the mojitos at Khao Lak also. Bastard. Is that all you think about Longhorns? I'm telling you, he is almost to the point of irritating with his love for food. He's on the Mark Weens level of, you know, he has a coffee and he goes, I'll tell you what, I would like to go back to that other Sarnies and not be streaming and just go there and like hang out for a morning. You're heading stateside in January, wow. I'm trying to think. Hopefully they'll do away with everything here by then. I want to wait and see how things go for a little bit before I decide to go back. We still have to figure out, you know, what are we going to do with the dog and the cat? Put them in a kennel? No travel without access, psychological warfare. Okay, whatever. Sure, people want to go on vacation, but the economy took a big hit the last few years. If you look at the big picture, you find the average spending has gone down. Yeah, I agree with that. Welcome home. Yes. You are not a foreigner if you have a Thai credit card. Bullshit. I have a Thai credit card. It's just nonsense. You know, you have some insightful thoughts once in a while, but man, you come out with some nonsense. I have a Thai credit card. In fact, they offered me the credit card. You know. And I could have got the, what is it, the Citibank? I could have had that one as well, and I didn't want it. I should have got it, actually, but I didn't. This Friday, curfew lifted, we can go anywhere around, not the countryside. Wow. That's crazy, man. They are so strict there. Where is this? What country is this? While we're waiting for his answer, please do me a favor and leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check down the description. Get yourself an Illogical Logic is the New Norm t-shirt, if you would be so kind. If you want to help in any other way, just check the description. But a thumbs up doesn't cost you a thing. Get one of my books or whatever from Amazon, yada, yada, yada. Phuket Airport and Bangkok Airport. I don't know. What's your, I mean, where are you from originally? Yeah, well, I love that shirt. I love it. I love that phrase. Okay, so you're American. You might want to write to Thai Airways then and bitch and moan. They probably give you 100,000 points or something. Because I've been going there for 30 years. As long as I've been traveling here, 27 years. I've been going to those places for years and years and years, as well as Bangkok Airways and many others. And they don't have any problem with me getting in. Oh, no foreigners. I'd be like, fuck off, if they said that to me. Go call the police, because here's my Thai Airways card. Here's my number. Look at my number on my card. Now get out of my way. Tell me I'm not allowed in a lounge. And you know, I don't know if you're just saying this or what's the deal. I want to see the video. Show me the video, because I don't buy it. I don't buy it, buddy. There's something you ain't telling us. Well, were you dressed like a bum? I mean, you know, I don't know. Or how did you try? Here's the thing. If you try to go in there and you're not allowed to go in there because your flight is, you just have an economy ticket, you don't have a Thai Airways card or lounge pass or something like that, they're not gonna let you in. But if you have something that says, hey, I can go into the lounge, if you're flying a certain class, if you or whatever it might be. I don't remember if it's for all classes, but I had a lot of points with Thai Airways a while ago, and I didn't have any problems just going in with my card. They didn't ask me for anything. I didn't have to pay anything, didn't have to do anything. And majority of the time, I fly economy. I mean, I've flown business and first class quite a few times, but on Thai Airways, only a couple. Okay, well, there you go. They want you to pay with a Thai credit card. Now, I don't know what the hell the difference is between you using a Thai credit card and an American card. In fact, my Amex card is for Thai Airways. And I was able to get in even when I didn't have that card. So, now what I will say, yeah, exactly. You gotta go up higher than that because and you bitch and moan and they'll probably give you something. You go, listen, I fly a lot. I fly all over the world, and you won't even let me in. No, this is discrimination. Whatever it is. You know what? You don't even give me like a free domestic flight or something. You know, they might go for it. Anyway, no reason why you shouldn't be able to go in. Doesn't, and so now you're saying you got to pay. So either you didn't have any card. I don't know what it was. What is going on here now? Things are getting a little busier now. I'm gonna go over how Thailand. I have some good information about Thailand and reopening and the recovery and what it's going to take and the different areas that they need to concentrate on. I'm gonna do like, I don't know, however long it takes me, maybe 45 minutes. It's gonna be a long like podcast, and I'll put that up in the members section when I'm done. It might take me a couple days, but there's some good information out there right now on where Thailand is struggling, and the country's struggling obviously, but it's struggling in many more ways. They have a lot of problems. And I don't know. I think it's going to take, if they ever want to get to where they claim they want to go, it's going to take another 5 years, 10 years for them to really get their act together. And that's if they make a concerted effort to move forward and do things. And I'm talking about things like waste management, the beautification of the city of Bangkok and of the country, things like that, things that they're charging 500 baht to foreigners to come into the country, stuff like that. Cheapest flight to Thailand, 430 one way, but an 8-hour stopover in Singapore. Oof, 430. That's crazy, man. That's one way though. That's not dirt cheap. With an 8-hour layover in Singapore. I hate those layovers in Singapore. I mean, Singapore has a nice airport, Changi, but I had to spend like 6 hours there once, and I was like bored out of my head. I was like, Jesus Christ. I just want to get on the plane and go, man. Get back. All right, so again, look at this. You got one lady over there at the cash register. You got some people outside. But other than that, there's nobody in here. It's just me. And it looked like it was going to get busy, and then everybody just left. And the airport hotel was full. Yeah, I spent a fair number of hours in Narita, and I think it was Narita, and it was in Japan, and I went in. They had the shower and you pay by the hour or whatever, kind of like a short time room here. And man, that was great. It's so nice to be able to just, if you're on a layover, you just go in, you take a shower, you get cleaned up, you take your time, maybe you get a few hours of shut-eye. 700 Aussie to Bangkok. Thai Airways arriving, so 700 Aussie dollars. See something here. Now, what is that? Is that one way or is that round trip? One way. That's expensive, man. Yeah, how long is the flight? I'd like to know that. That's what I want to know. Wow, it looked like Longhorns might have said something interesting. How about getting Thais off living on the streets before they invite foreigners back, having to walk past them daily feeling guilty from getting asked for money every time, but you can't give all the time. Yeah, well, and it's gotten worse. It's gotten much worse over the years. 9.5 hours and it's that expensive? That's crazy. To me, that's crazy. I mean, that's like $1,100 US round trip. If it's 700 round trip. Oh, that's one way direct. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. But if it works out that way, 700 is 17,000 baht. So if you double that, it's 34,000. So that's about $1,000 from Australia. That's freaking expensive. 9.5 hours, considering that you're coming from the United States and it's 18 hours, something like that. We're coming back, so it's 1180. Let's see here. All right, so that's just under $1,000. That's still really expensive. It's Norway to Bangkok, 10 hours, 12 hours, come back. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Prices are going crazy, and this is the thing, too. Remember when they said, we're going to go after people who try to take advantage of others by selling them masks at inflated prices? Yeah, right. Fat chance on that, man. From Los Angeles is torture. I've flown from LA, from LAX, and I've also flown from Fort Lauderdale, and I've flown from New York, and none of them are good. The best thing that I did was fly from New York. I flew from New York. I went New York to London. I spent a couple days in London, and I went to Amsterdam. Then I went to Amsterdam for a couple of days, and then I came to Bangkok, or it was the reverse way also. Yeah, and that's just, listen, I'm convinced, and I again, I don't mean to sound jaded or pessimistic. I just try to be real about things, and it's been this way for a while, but probably as long as mankind has been alive. But now business is about not necessarily giving somebody a product that's valuable and that you feel like you're getting a good deal on. It's almost as if some of these companies are like, we're gonna screw you hard. We're gonna charge you as much as we think we can get away with, and we're gonna give you as little as we can. We're gonna give you a little seat in the back with the other cows, and we're gonna charge you top dollar for it. And you're gonna like it. And if you say one thing and you pull your mask down a half a millimeter, and then the what do they call them? The air waitress. If she tells you to pull up your mask a little bit, and you tell her no, you rebel and tell her no, you're off the plane. No, I don't think they call them stewardesses anymore. I think they call them air waitresses and air waiters. Isn't that what they call them? With a badge. They're air waitresses with badges. Is that the politically correct term? I used to say stewardess. I mean, I'm making light of it now, calling them air waitresses and waiters, but it used to be air steward, air stewardess. There's nothing wrong with that. What's the problem? Flight attendant, whatever. This game of semantics, it's like, let's all worry about our words to the point where it's all we think about. It's just, it hasn't gotten that way in Thailand, but it's getting there. It's coming. It's coming. I already told you about the prick who was lecturing people on Twitter about using the F-bomb in Thailand because somebody complained, one of his little girlfriends complained to him. And, okay, I understand you're not, anywhere it's in public, really, you shouldn't be using it unless you're in that kind of an environment. If you're hanging out with your sailor buddies in a pub, well, what do you expect? But, if you're in a Starbucks, you're not, F this, F that. Okay, it's understandable. But you know what? That's on the individual. It's not on some prick or some government to tell you how you should and should not speak. Call me old school. I'm not that freaking old. I mean, I do have respect for people, and I do have respect for their wishes, and I do think that you should try to accommodate them, but I think there's a limit. Well, the government here has been trying to be the people's daddy for a long time, and I always bring it up, but it's the booze, the hours here make no sense to me. Do they have any tests? Do they have any... Can they show results that say, hey, if we shut down a couple of hours each day, less people are going to become alcoholics? Yeah, I can't stand that. And then what was so funny is the girl that chimed in, and on her Twitter it said, don't call me her or she. And then I was watching the show Yellowstone yesterday, and there was an episode where one of the guys from the ranch had killed a bear. And so he had to go and pick up the fish and wildlife person to come, who was going to investigate what had happened to the bear. As soon as he picks her up, what did he call her? He said, I think he called her "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "My name is not, you do not refer to me as ma'am. You refer to me as like officer, whatever her name was." And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Flight attendants at full PPA and also, are you serious? So now, I was going to put up a video last night, and the sound came out really bad, and I just didn't have the energy to redo it, or the desire. But one of the things I was saying is, the way that they're dealing with this virus now, it's almost like we're worrying about catching this Ebola type virus, that if we happen to be standing in the wrong place at the right time, we're all going to just start bleeding out of every orifice, and we're all going to die. And it's obviously it's not that bad. Really? That's crazy. So they're fully vaccinated. They're probably wearing, their special underwear to prevent themselves from contracting anything vaginally or any other way. I still think the funniest thing out of everything that I've heard has been the doctor here in Thailand who made it a point to say we shouldn't be having sex without masks on. We should be only doing it in certain positions so that we don't face each other. And I'm like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see people think like this. And I mean, he's a doctor. Okay, great. But, and I value most doctors' judgment. But not all. And like I said, this is not Ebola. It's not if you breathe and somebody gets a little particle in their mouth from you that you're going to start bleeding out of every orifice. Most people are going to be fine. I mean, I'll be honest. I've been vaccinated, and lately I've been feeling like shit. And I'm like, maybe I got it. Maybe I got it, and my body is just, fighting it off. I don't know, Between that and the sleep, it's hard for me to say. No sex for you. You don't have mask. No condom. I don't care. But you have mask. You don't have mask. Cannot. Yes. Well, it's not contagious for the what? The ASI? The ASY? Asymptomatic. So, okay. Yeah, I can't keep up with all these acronyms and shortened. I was telling you guys yesterday that here in Thailand, I think I need a coffee. I haven't had a coffee this morning. Here in Thailand, if you want to get an espresso and you want to sound like you know what you're talking about, you don't have to say espresso. If you want a hot espresso, you just say S-lon. S-yen. You just say S. Shortened. I need to get a coffee. I only got about 10 minutes left in the stream, I believe. But I do think I need a coffee. And it's not the quality of Longhorn's coffee, but we can't all be so lucky. I don't live next to Sarni's. Espresso. know what I want. I don't know if I want an S. Do I want an S? S lawn? Sorta. All right, let's go. Let me get an SO. Even though there's plexiglass there. Hey, thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate that. Yeah, I already talked about that, LG. Colin Powell dead at 84 from COVID complications. Oh, Jesus Christ. Booster shot, that's fantastic. So then what are they going to do? If I get 2 more shots of, say, Pfizer, I'll have had 2 Sinovac, and then in order to get to the United States, I'd have 2 Pfizer, which they recognize. And then, so if they start saying, oh, but you're going to have a booster too, since they don't recognize the Sinovacs, does that mean I need to have a 3rd Pfizer, which would mean I got shot 5 times? Now, that's too much. I draw the line there. Let me go get my coffee real quick. Hopefully, Miss Preo will come over here and deliver. Okay. Okay, Tony. Starbucks isn't potable. Just saying, you might have to get a whistle. Colin Powell, the warmonger. Why warmonger? No, website might be no. Oh, God. All right, listen. I can't get my head around why countries are insisting on entry for vaccinated only. The vaccinated can carry, can still carry it. Isn't the... Well, I think the reason, Mr. Dan, is because the chance of dying is lessened when you are vaccinated. So they don't want people who are coming here and maybe they're not vaccinated and then somebody gives it to them and they die. I don't know, it's confusing. After a while, I'm like, illogical logic, baby. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It doesn't make sense to me, you know. But a PCR test, I mean, you're saying it's more credible. I I don't know that it's more credible. I think it's necessary maybe if you're going to leave. But even that, it's like, okay, so if you got it, you got it. You know, if you're asymptomatic, I mean, this is what I mean. Are we going to learn to live with it, or are we just going to continue to go on and on and on and on and on? Oh, now the mall is fully opening in about 2 minutes. He couldn't start a war. The intel community reported that there were weapons. We can leave unless you're vaxxed. You have to get. We can't leave unless you're vaxxed and have to get a test 72 hours before the flight. Yeah. Well, you know what this has done? I'll tell you what this has done for me. It's made me much less likely to go to the doctor, because I don't want to hear them tell me, "Oh, sir, did you know that you are testing positive for the COVID?" No, I didn't know that. I have no symptoms. I don't feel bad at all. I'm here because my I have a impacted rectum. Yes, sir, but we're going to have to keep you in the hospital for 2 weeks. Oh, my insurance won't pay for it because I'm asymptomatic. Oh, I just don't want to go through that, because I will not be a happy camper. I can only imagine some of these people. And you know what's funny is a lot of people go through this and there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, I mean, the idea is that people aren't just dropping like flies everywhere. Last time I watched you, doing 50 push-ups daily. Oh, yeah. I need to get back on that regiment. I have to do them on my knuckles now because my hands are in bad shape. Knuckle push-ups are easier. They're not as painful. Oh, fuck, the rap god. Come on, Gennaro. Longhorns. Gennaro is making continuous requests for the rap god. I think he needs to be punished in some way. Get some handlebar. I have those. I have them. They don't help me, man. I have them. My wrist was broken. My fingers, my hand. I got arthritis in my hands now. I mean, I can do them, but it's just afterwards I'm like, ah. It's better to do them on my knuckles. My knuckles, it's not nearly as painful. There she is. Well, she's gone now. Oh, there she is right there. All right, there you go. Bye. See ya. I bought resistance bands and tell you they're amazing if you don't want to do weights. Yeah, I've heard good things about them. We have weights. We have weights too. Get some boxing gloves and try to do it with those then. I can do them on my knuckles. I have boxing gloves. That's not a problem. We still have boxing gloves in the house and focus mitts. Now my kids are getting old enough where if I don't hit hard, if I just throw it about 50% just to get the exercise, they could hold the pads for me. They used to hit the pads all the time. I used to put them through the paces, man. It was funny. They were little then, and they grew and they still did it, but now they haven't done it very often. I let my buddies, the fighters who are now trainers, I let them train my kids when they were training them. Anyway, interesting stuff. well, we're opened up here. We're at 2 hours. Longhorns, are you still laying in bed? Not that I really want to, I don't want the visual. I'm just asking, you know, if you're lounging around. And did you get the message from Jono? Probably sitting on the toilet. Yeah, I don't much care for the beard and the heat, but then again, I don't particularly like shaving all the time either. Me and the bar. I enjoy Jenny, and I appreciate all the hard work. Well, thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. โชคดีแล้วเจอกันใหม่ I've gotten to the point where I hate saying that now. Really. I said it the other day, you know, all that shtick stuff. Gennaro, take care. Take it easy. Looks like rain's coming anyway. It's time to go. It's time to get out of here. I appreciate everybody joining me. I don't know, next stream might be Thursday or Friday. You mean the vinyl ones that keep all the liquid in? It's terrible. Listen, I'm letting this beard grow out. This is the longest it's been in quite some time. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe. Depends on Longhorns, depends on me. It depends on my wife, because she wants to go somewhere. Depends on money. Now she's telling me she's not worried about the kids. Before she was always worried, and I don't know. We were talking about it, how we went to, where did we go? Alex and I and my wife went to Singapore and also to Macau. And we left Nicholas behind with, I think, her mother. And she's like, I can't believe I did that, but we'll do it now. Steve, you take it easy. Thank you for joining in today. Appreciate that. I never seen you worried about kids. I don't worry about my kids too much. They're pretty dialed in here. They're more dialed in than I am. Beard trimmer once a week. I'm not even touching this beard. If there's something like sticking way out, which there might be now, I may just clip it off, but I'm going to let this grow. I'm going to let it grow and grow and grow. Michael, Copenhagen. See you. If I wasn't in Thailand, I might have been in Copenhagen or somewhere in Denmark, because there was a time when I really wanted to go. I dreamed of Danish women. I don't know why. I was young and impressionistic. That ain't no Sarni's coffee, I can tell you that right now. All right, anyway, listen. Appreciate everybody joining in. It was a nice stream today. Very nice. I don't know what's going on in the coming days. It really depends on the weather. It depends on what's happening in Thailand, and it depends on whether or not we feel like taking a 4 or 5 day trip or a 2-day trip, or I don't know. That's how it is. It's all fly by the seat of your pants. So Yes, thank you for joining. And like I said, I appreciate it. Um, Let me give a big shout out to all my Patreon patrons and all the people who contribute with Super Chat and the members of my website and all those people who've been buying T-shirts and stuff like that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you, Neil. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But if we do go somewhere, I really would like to go somewhere where we can check out some rivers and talk to some people, and maybe even just do some rafting. Um, that's something that would seem important to do before trying anything big out. But you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So, Longhorns, I'll talk to you later. Everybody else, I'll talk to you later. I'll see you when I see you. So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke D, Leo, Jerk, and Mai. That's good luck and see you later. Live from Starbucks. Ciao, ciao. Can't wait for Pattaya to reopen November. Pattaya is already open, man. I wouldn't count on the bars being open, but you never know. Now that would be a big move. The bars open, booze is allowed to be served, and there's no curfew. Then you know we're headed in the right direction, and then you got to be prepared because they may just lock us down again here, and that would not be good. But anyway, let's just one day at a time. All right, so I'll talk to you guys later.